scandal, then
4.5 years supporting the dark side, still going strong. Thank you, Stitching NoFap. Appreciate the support.
as of the time of me making this video, we are now officially
Uh,
the MMA business with Ronda Rousey versus, but neither one of those guys to be mid. For Moicano versus Duncan, there's Dion Barboza versus Melissa Gatto, and Azamat Bekoev versus Tresean Gore, the latter of whom is literally 5-4 in his career, the record of a journeyman on the regional scene, not a guy who is supposed to be in the quote-unquote best promotion in the world. And for Burns versus Mallet, you have Mitch Raposo fighting on the card, who shouldn't even be in the UFC since he lost on both Dana White's Contender Series and on The Ultimate Fighter. And then you have an unranked women's bantamweight fight on the card, which I'm guessing is supposed to be the official beer refill and toilet break of the card. And on the UFC Perth card, they're still giving Junior Tafa fights in the UFC. Yes, Junior Tafa, who is 6-5 in his career and has 2 wins and 5 losses in the UFC and who has 0 ground game. They're still giving Junior Tafa fights. And then, if you look at the other cards, there's other matchmaking that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. For UFC London, for example, you have a main event of Movsar Evlov versus Laurent.
sounds like the best time to try to get into the UFC. They'll let anybody, like, just fucking in and throw them a few shekels.
Murphy. Now, either one of these guys could have been booked to fight Volkanovski at
Wasn't drinking coffee, it was black tea. No, I'm not training MMA right now.
Army is on track to lose more soldiers in April than they recruited. Put another way, the Russian army just got smaller. First one, he says, quote, for the 4th month in a row, Russia is failing mobilization, hitting only 60 to 75% of targets, and the in-out balance will be negative again this month. That is already clear as of April 26th.
Dude, this is a fucking grandpa. Like this guy literally looks like a retiree.
This is at least the 2nd month so far in 2026 where more Russians have been killed or seriously wounded than they've been able to recruit. You can imagine over the long term that becomes a bit of an issue. Now, Russia does still have the manpower advantage over Ukraine. That has not changed since the beginning of the war. But we are starting to see more and more talk inside of Russia about the possibility of mobilization, or
this just looks like a really shitty way to die or get horribly injured.
What that could mean for the situation at the front. And Fighter Bomber, a Russian mill blogger, spoke to this just a couple days ago, saying it just means more dead Russian soldiers. He said, quote, I understand those who propose mobilization as an attempt to change something on the front line. But let's say we mobilize 5 million citizens. Is there even a 1% chance that in a year we have 500 more square kilometers, but 5 million fewer citizens? So put another way, he says, what's more likely? We pull 5 million more people into our ranks. Is it more likely that we actually make territorial gains and take 500 square kilometers, which is not even that big of a chunk?
Oh my god, this drone footage. Holy shit. 3 sit-ups. Okay, I'll do the 3 sit-ups in a bit.
When compared to the rest of Ukraine, I'm not sure that would even be the remainder of Donetsk. I don't think it would be. So for 5 million people, 500 square kilometers, he says, or is it more likely that we just have 5 million fewer citizens? But again, when we're seeing the volume of casualties come out of the Russian army in recent months, you know that that conversation is going to get more and more traction about mobilization. If the answer is more bodies, the way to get more bodies is increase the pay. And when that runs out or you can't increase it anymore, or it's not financially feasible to do that, you start mobilization. We'll see. Now, the second one, according to Robert Madjar, he said, is castrating the military, industrial, and fuel energy complex in the swamps. This is a systematic dismantling of Russia's actual ability and capacity to wage war, which costs the old barbarian grandpa a 10-digit sum every day. And just a few hours ago, we've got footage from the Ukrainian Unmanned Systems Forces showing one of their strikes right here. They say on the night of April 26th, drone operators successfully struck a strategic enemy facility, the Yaroslavl oil refinery. They say the Slavneft Yanos enterprise, with a design capacity of 15 million tons of oil per year, is among the top 5 largest refineries in Russia. The plant specializes in deep oil refinery and produces motor gasoline, diesel fuel, aviation kerosene, jet engine fuel, heating oil, and other petroleum products. They say as a result of the strike, a fire broke out in the enterprise's territory. The detailed consequences are being clarified. And we've seen this over and over and over and over again recently. Tuops, another major Russian oil refinery. I'll put up the picture here to show the damage. Holy cow. Like significant damage impacting the Russian energy infrastructure day in and day out. And again, this stuff is being noticed inside.
Must suck living near there too, because the fucking smell and burning fuel and everything.
Of Russia, they're watching this going, what's going on, guys? Like, are we not able to shoot these down? Are we not able to protect this territory? Russian mill blogger Wagner Kotenok said, quote, the enemy is simply reveling in impunity. And although our defense ministry's reports almost daily mention retaliatory strikes, it seems that they do not at all deter our adversary, which is growing stronger with each passing month. The threats of Orshnik are not enough for him, and he is learning to resist Garans every day. The enemy, openly mocking, promises to only intensify missile and drone attacks, including beyond the Urals. So very deep strikes inside of Russia. He says if the dynamics of attacks on Russia continues and we are unable to counter them with decisive responses, serious consequences lie ahead because this is war. And we've already started to see that this year. I mean, it's hard to tell the exact impact that these strikes on Russia's energy infrastructure is having on the Russian economy. It's kind of something that builds over a period of time. But I mean, I think at least a couple times a week, close to every single day for a couple weeks now, we have seen massive fires at Russian oil facilities that costs a lot of money. All right. That just takes production offline, and it takes a while to get all of that back. So that is the second pillar that Madjar laid out today. Now, I do want to give a quick update on the fundraiser we're running through Car for Ukraine. We just got a note from the battalion commander of the Seraphims in the 104th Territorial Defense Brigade. He sent a message through Car for Ukraine for you all. So I wanted to share this with you today. We had asked for any updates. How's everything going? What's it like right now? And he said, this is Sergey, the battalion commander. He said, we're going through very difficult times right now. There are many wounded. This week, I attended a meeting at the Territorial Defense Forces headquarters along with other newly appointed commanders. We all face the same challenges. Among them is a shortage of equipment. We rely heavily on volunteer support, which is why I truly appreciate having you by my side. Thank you very much, Claire, our contact at pinned comment below. Now, turning to the third pillar laid out by Robert Madjar, he said the Black Sea Fleet is not far from done, and the myth of impenetrable air defense is fading with each new 100 destroyed SAMs and radars, not by the 1,000, by each 100. That tells you that it's limited. Now, the SBU just...
You mean half black tea? Half black tea, 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 half black tea. Half-rican.
No, I don't mean half black tea. Thanks for the donation, B. Tybalt Romeo's Nemesis donated $2.
Fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way. Fucking way, no fuck.
That's That can't be somebody. Is that National Guard? There's no way you'd get kicked out of the military. That has to be like National Guard or something, right? Is he like retarded? Well, that looked like he shat his pants. Thanks for the donation, though, Tybalt.
A few hours ago released, or unfortunately just released pictures. We probably are going to get some footage here because that tends to be the process, showing a pretty significant strike in Crimea. They said they went after 3 ships, a fighter jet and air defense systems, all in Crimea. And we do have a couple of pictures here. They say the Alpha Special Forces of the SBU conducted a successful special operation at the naval base of the Russian Black Sea Fleet in Sevastopol and the Belbek military airfield. They said they hit the Russian landing ship Yamal, the Russian landing ship Filchnikov, the Russian reconnaissance ship Ivan Kurs, the training center Lukomka, the headquarters of the Air Defense Forces. They had a radar system, a MiG-31. We do have the picture of that one. And then a technical operation part of the Belbek airfield. That's going to be some interesting footage. Anytime we've got drone footage taking out aircraft or striking ships inside of Crimea, you know that one's going to get a lot of traction. And the response here, as expected from the Russian side, is just more frustration. Like, what is happening? How does this continue to occur? 2 majors earlier today said, quote, "The city of Sevastopol is now living in a state of daily fear. The city is holding on, but among the population, depressive moods of hopelessness about the current situation are spreading. A proactive and effective means of defending Crimea should have been from the Black Sea Fleet, which could have shot down all of this crap dozens of kilometers off the coast. But since the summer of 2022, not a single effective measure has been taken, and the ships themselves are hidden in reserve naval bases, where they are also continuing to take a beating from the enemy." I've seen a lot of discourse recently about the naval lessons learned out of this conflict. There it is, right there. Russia is not able to forward position air defense assets in the Black Sea to protect the coastal areas like Sevastopol and others. They have to wait until those Ukrainian munitions are over land to try to engage them. That's a problem, because then even if you do shoot them down, you've got drone debris, shrapnel. Sometimes those drones fall with the warhead intact and detonate wherever they hit the ground. It's the same thing that's happening in Ukraine. So whenever possible, you don't want to shoot down ammunition directly overhead of the target. Well, Ukraine now is able to do that, right? Their drones that are shot down over Sevastopol can still cause a lot of damage because the Black Sea Fleet cannot go out into the Black Sea any longer. That's a naval victory. Like, we'll see how this plays out long-term throughout the conflict, but the fact that Russia can no longer put those sentries out into the water because they are getting destroyed, or at least now the risk of destruction from Ukrainian unmanned surface vessels, you see this follow-on effect. The naval war that Ukraine has won in the Black Sea has pushed the Russian Black Sea Fleet back. That's opened the skies for Ukrainian drones to inflict further damage on the ships that are parked there, the airfields, the radar systems, and the Russian command and control centers.
Frank Tufano has a new video where he talks about paint. Oh yeah, he's talking about paint.
We got the perfect paint color to fix my fascia board. Downpour. I was going to look at the blue colors, and as soon as I saw downpour, I was like, that's it. It was literally like the first color I looked at, and it was so ironic with how my house is flooded. I was like, Yeah, that's close enough to the blue we have up there, and it is definitely the most ironic name and the funniest one I could choose.
Regatta.
So,
Sounds almost like regret.
Downpour. I guess we'll see how it matches the fascia board, because that whole fascia board was a disaster. The first guys I hired to paint it gray left it out in the rain, so we had to resand and paint every single board, and then they put it up and it got rained on again. So now we have to resand and paint every board that's up there, because the first guy also ruined the first bucket of paint, and when I had them match the paint, because he also lost the color slip, it didn't match. So now we just got to do a whole new different color.
He is so full of shit. Like, every single fucking story is, this guy that I paid did it wrong, and then he messed up, and then it caused another problem, and then we had to do it all over again. Then the second guy did the same thing, and it was all wrong, and then I had to fix it. Every story has that same fucking narrative. Like, he's so full of shit. I don't know what the fuck this guy's problem is. Like, is it helping him? Is this helping him get ahead in life? Like, he's just more broken fucking miserable, coming up with all these, like, stupid lies and excuses. Why the fuck doesn't he just, like, stop being retarded? Oh my god, this is just, like, fucking insane. Dodo wanted me to react to this. Dodo Nintillers, is this AI VG?
I am a vegan. I love logic, and I do not eat my friends.
I am a meat eater. I love bones, and I respect the laws of nature.
Logic dictates that we start with the most uncomfortable truth. Extreme suffering for trivial pleasure is morally indefensible. You agree with that in principle, don't you, dog? Or are you going to argue that torture is fine as long as the victim tastes good with a side of fries?
Whoa. Starting off with the heavy hitters. Look, I don't like torture. Nobody does. But calling a meal trivial pleasure feels a bit unfair.
Yeah, I think that's AI. SCOTUS will hear a case about the weed killer glyphosate on Monday. Big Maha protest plan. Trump administration backs Bayer, weed killer's maker, reversing a position taken by Biden. This is going to be... Oh my god, dude. This is going to be hilarious. Oh my god. I don't even understand how the fuck any of this horseshit is up to the Supreme Court. What the fuck is Clarence Thomas, Mr. Long Dong Silver, gonna know about fucking glyphosate? Like this geriatric old fuck who watches like weird fucking pirate porn. I just don't understand how they can sensibly make a ruling on, you know, some kind of scientific health topic.
The Alien Enemies Act was invoked. It was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI.
Did she mix up 9/11 with like World War II or something? That's got to be the stupidest gaffe I've ever heard. Like, ever. You know, you got plenty from Bush. America is where wings make dream. Nuclear fusion. Like Biden, there's plenty. Fucking corn pop and shit. Trump, elevators in like 1800s, you know, whatever, but World War XI. Ilhan Omar is a fucking crazy, corrupt, lying shithead. Just like absolute fucking nut job. It's crazy how she's part of Congress. This is a fucking communist who wants to destroy the United States. Clearly doesn't ideologically believe in any of this like bullshit pro-immigration crap she's promoting, because when it comes to her shithole fuckwit home country of Somalia, she takes an entirely different fucking stance. She's fine with being buddies with like fucking Mr. America did deserve 9/11. And she lies about her income and net worth and everything too. She's just fucking terrible person.
As a content creator for the past few years, lighting is something that makes a huge difference for my videos, and that's why we really wanted to invest in lighting and a design that works for our home. All the lights are controlled by a smart app to switch on and off, and
Well, that's a paid advertisement if I've ever seen one.
many other features as well. Starting with the kitchen, we went with 2 downlights on each side and LED strips. The LED strips really make sure the entire countertop is well lit. Warm white is my favorite lighting as it's not too warm or cool. The kitchen was a relatively small space to
That looks pretty good.
maneuver. So for the actual smart drivers, we focused on the living room and the bedroom. Moving on to the living room, we love that we a bit cozy. And the only recommend getting them because it's
Only last year, it looked like Ukraine was in real trouble. Russia was making steady progress on the battlefield, the Ukrainian state was headed for bankruptcy, and Zelensky himself looked vulnerable.
She misread the World War II. Oh, that would make sense. Oh my god. That is insane. How do you, how? World War II, 2, you interpret that as 11? And you say it out loud? Dude, she's a fucking retard. That makes perfect sense, but holy fuck, that's retarded. If it happened to be World War IV, would she have said World War IV?
Especially after the corruption scandal in November. Today, however, the tide looks to have turned. Russia is stalling, Ukraine's public finances look remarkably stable, and in the aftermath of the war in Iran, the whole world is suddenly very interested in its cutting-edge military tech. So, in this video, we're going to explain why things are looking up for Ukraine, and what this means for the prospect of peace negotiations. Never miss an episode and always feel in the loop by subscribing. Is that, thanks to Viktor Orban's disastrous performance at the Hungarian election earlier this month, Ukraine will now receive a long-awaited €90 billion loan from the EU. For context, since the withdrawal of US aid last year, Ukraine's finances have been looking pretty dicey, and Kyiv was due to essentially run out of cash sometime this year. The EU's original plan to plug the gap was to use the roughly €200 billion of frozen Russian assets sitting in Europe depositories, either by just giving it to Ukraine or using it as collateral for a new loan. But this plan fell apart after member states were essentially unable to agree on a burden-sharing mechanism in the event of legal action from Moscow. This meant the EU had to move to Plan B, which was to finance another €90 billion in aid via joint debt. In other words, by borrowing the money at the EU level, instead of at the national level, and then basically giving that money on to Ukraine. Unfortunately for Ukraine, this loan was essentially vetoed by Hungary under its outgoing Prime Minister Viktor Orban, despite the fact, it should be said, that Hungary has already secured an exemption, meaning it wouldn't be involved in paying back any of the joint debt. However, as you probably already know, Orban suffered a resounding defeat at the Hungarian election earlier this month, and his successor, Peter Magyar, has since confirmed he will withdraw Hungary's veto. This will provide immediate relief and stave off an acute crisis. But perhaps more significantly, if this means joint debt becomes the European default for financing further aid, it will provide Ukraine with a reliable source of long-term funding, given the EU has a lot more so-called fiscal space, i.e. it can borrow a lot more money than any member state. Anyway, the second reason to be optimistic is that advances in Ukrainian drone technology seems to have given Ukraine the upper hand on the battlefield. There have been sort of 3 developments on this front. The first is the emergence of semi-autonomous drones, which can perform at least some functions without human operators. These drones possess two main advantages. First, they're less susceptible to electronic jamming, which disrupts the communication link between pilot and drone. And second, they obviously don't need a human operator, which is especially convenient for Ukraine given their manpower constraints. Ukraine first deployed semi-autonomous drones last year, but they've gradually become more autonomous since, and production has really ramped up in the past couple of months, which is one of the big reasons the Russians are struggling to make progress on the front lines. The second development is Ukraine's improved long-range strike capabilities. This has allowed Ukraine to put pressure on Russian logistics, but also allowed Ukraine to hit Russian energy facilities, including export hubs and refineries. According to Reuters, by the end of March, Ukraine had taken out about 40% of Russia's crude oil export capacity, and in April, Russia was apparently forced to cut production by about 300,000 to 400,000 barrels per day, the sharpest monthly decline to Russian output in the 6 years since the pandemic. This is yet more bad news for the Kremlin's finances, which looked genuinely disastrous at the start of this year. In just January and February, for instance, Russia's GDP apparently shrank by 1.8%, and the budget deficit came in at 4.5 trillion rubles, not far off the 3.8 trillion ruble gap originally projected for the entire year. Although Putin will probably be bailed out if the Strait of Hormuz remains closed and oil and gas prices remain elevated. The third drone-related development is the emergence of cost-effective interceptors. Faced with a shortage of Western air defense systems, Ukraine has developed a number of...
It's a little weird to say since a lot of Russia's oil, like Russia can't trade much oil to begin with because of the sanctions, and a lot of their oil refineries are getting knocked out.
Interceptor drones that are now remarkably effective and impressively cheap. They currently account for roughly 70% of all drone interceptors around Ukrainian cities and cost as little as $2,000 per unit. And this takes us nicely onto our third and final reason that things are looking up for Ukraine. There's been a sudden flurry of interest in Ukraine's military kit. A lot of this has to do with the war in Iran, which has made people realise that Western, and specifically American, military tech is good, but not at all cost effective. After all, interceptors for the US-made Patriot system, which is very popular with America's traditional allies, cost about $4 million a pop, and the US only makes a few hundred each year. This isn't a bad deal when you're defending against...
I don't know where the oh my god. The amount of missile systems that the US makes is classified. Nobody knows how much are actually made. So...
This appeared in my recommended list, and it has an interesting title, so it must be interesting and important.
Hey, Gum Gum. What's going on? Does my Gum Gum want to cuddle? Come cuddle, Gum Gum. I want to cuddle with my Gum Gum. Yes, come cuddle. 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 Yes. Come cuddle. I want my cuddle cat. Cuddle. Do cuddle now. That's right. Do cuddle. That's good. That's good. You lie down, do cuddle. Yes. It's my baby. Wow. It's a nice kitty baby. You do good cuddle. You know that? Your nails also are digging into me pretty good. You might want to retract your claws a little. Can you take it easy there? I love you, Joe. Yeah, that's a good kitty. You know I love you so much. Yeah. Love you so much. You're so beautiful. Yeah, you're so beautiful and amazing. Sweet baby. He's so person. Yeah, you're so person. My goodness. Let me take a look.
Well, it's good to be back home. I've been gone for 21 days with my brother, and though it didn't really turn out the way I expected, excuse me, I meant to see both of my brothers and, interact with some spiritual dialogue and stuff like that. But as it turned out, it's my older brother and I went to my daughter's house and spent over a week remodeling her kitchen. And then we went down to the Los Angeles area and worked on a kitchen for my brother's friend for several days. Visited my cousins. And then I took him back to Idaho Falls, Idaho, and came back home. That was 21 days, and I did very little video on the trip, but I will try to include what little that I did take, and it had nothing to do with spirituality. It just covered some of the remodeling I did and stuff like that. And it was very beautiful at the beach my brother and I went to. What beach it was, I don't recall.
Well, no, that video is not interesting. Thanks for the donation, though, Who.
Against, say, a ballistic missile, but it's a terrible deal when you're defending against a Shahed drone, which, at the latest estimate, costs Iran just $7,000 per unit. Ukraine is basically the only country that currently mass produces battle-tested and cost-effective alternatives. This is why Gulf nations have been queuing up, and Zelensky has recently signed security partnerships with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, which will presumably involve cooperation on drone manufacturing and provide a welcome cash injection for Ukraine's defence industry. You've also seen a flurry of similar deals with European countries. In February, 4 Ukrainian firms launched joint ventures with firms from Denmark, Finland and Latvia, and earlier this month, Germany and Ukraine announced a massive new defence package, which involved cooperation on drone manufacturing, with Italy discussing a similar deal at the moment. This suggests Europe no longer sees Ukraine as a supplicant, but as a valuable and equal security partner, which is probably a more sustainable.
I remember the first game to really do the whole drone thing. That had to have been Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, right? I didn't play the original game, Advanced Warfighter 1, on 360 because I didn't have a 360 at the time. But I played Advanced Warfighter 2 on the PlayStation 3. That's the first game I can recall where there were flying drones. They weren't used for blowing people up, but they were used for spotting enemies, and then it would send image data into your like heads-up display, and then you could see enemies like through walls and stuff. They've actually got a system that like that exists. And then I guess it was like the Call of Duty games that had the first like killer drones. But now it's real. I said Advanced Warfighter, not Advanced Warfare. Stupid. Dumb motherfucker.
Hey guys, this video is sponsored by Stick. Set in the futuristic year of 2013, lol, the Canadian Prime Minister and the US President traveled to a summit in Mexico. But wouldn't you know it, these guys had to travel there in the middle of a coup, which means everyone's lives are now at stake and only Captain Scott Mitchell, which might be the most generic sounding name ever, has to go in there with his ghost team to save the day.
Target down.
You'll move through the streets of Mexico, getting into gunfights with rebel soldiers, watch the US Embassy explode, escort a tank crew through hostile territory, and even go lone wolf on a few solo missions. All before being a bad enough dude to rescue the US and the Mexican president, as you stop the rebels and arrest their leaders. The whole rebel forces thing, I mean, it ain't the most original story, and it does just feel like they pulled the nationality of the enemy forces out of a hat. I mean, single sitting, only I had adult commitments to attend to, along with basic human urges like eating and sleeping. But it was just such a smooth experience from start to finish, and I think the few minor problems the whole thing has are just overshadowed by the multitude of things that it does well. Obviously, you've seen the footage at this point, and you can see that it's a third-person shooter.
Of course!
It does have the option to be played in a first-person mode, but it is really meant to be played in third-person, utilizing cover and popping out to take shots at enemies. As it clears the streets in between reaching your next objective, and that's kind of awesome too. During a mission, the PSP. I'm not going to spend another 20 minutes talking about them, but overall the console version, again, is pretty good. It definitely feels like a by-the-numbers sequel, but then again, considering how solid the first one was, there wasn't really any glaring things that needed to be fixed. So it just kind of feels like more of the same, albeit slightly more polished and better.
This actually had a really fantastic multiplayer mode. It was pretty hardcore. Like, you shoot people, they die, you know, unlike Call of Duty these fucking days. And, pretty realistic tactics that you generally use. All Samu Stony Tillers, holy shit, he's experiencing the world. Oh.
Нет? Какая погода, такое утро? Скажи, Мани. Скажи, мой сладкий, мой любимый. Как язычок показывает, ах ты.
He's so person.
Ах ты, язычок.
Look at that blep.
Что показываешь? Красотуля ты моя.
Oh my god.
Красотуля.
Look at his hands. Those big paws, they're like mittens.
Красотуля.
Oh my god, he's so person.
Угу. Ты мой сладкий любимка. Любимка. Любимка моя. Красотун. Все, несу. Несу завтрак, несу.
Oh my god, he's so person. It's like the same size as Gummy. He sits on the Mangus throne. Oh, wow. That is a Mangus. Wow, look at how Mangusy he is. That's a good Mangus. Oh. Oh, dear friends. Oh my goodness, that's nice. I like it when animals can be friends. This is better when they're all friends. Friends are good. That's so good. Why does he keep waking up? Just go to sleep. You're a little prairie dog. You don't have anything to worry about. Don't have to go to school or go to a job or get up in the morning. Just sleep all you want, little silly. Wow. Oh, what the hell's going on here? Oh, that's funny. Oh my god. Wow, he's so person. How come they're so person? Thanks for the donation, Balsamus. You can put Doom Guy in the game? That's pretty funny. That's not a mod I would have expected. Yes, Shrek. The obligatory Shrek. Some of these look fucking hilarious. Oh my god, that looks so stupid. Oh yeah, CJ from GTA. I love how Shrek and CJ have to be in every fucking mod. Claim 1. Israel is not committing apartheid or genocide. Dodo donate $2.
Cole Allen is going to appear. He's the shooter that tried to get into the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And it is quite a media circus here with media from all over, probably not just the United States, but all over the world. And, you know, it just makes me reflect on how sad it is that we as a society are so addicted to violence. And the violence that we perpetrate overseas with these endless wars and the $1 trillion plus.
Gay. The candidate for the Green Party praising Russia and China for pumping out fossil fuels. Russia brings oil, China brings solar energy, the US brings starvation, darkness. Tells you all you need to know. Fucking Jill Stein. Oh my god, why? Breaking. People against genocide have abseiled through the roof. Elbit's arms factory, breaking ceiling. Cleaning room, yeah, contaminating the room. Well, hopefully they get a life sentence. It's fucking retards. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Are you guys having fun watching Richard stare off screen typing for 5 to 10 minutes long just talking to his dumb bitch girlfriend and giving her too much attention?
We gotta do what we gotta do. 21st. Thanks for the donation.
Once again, there's nothing wrong with violence. And nothing is sweeter than watching evil people like Hitler die in a puddle of their own blood.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, fact check. Benjamin Netanyahu was reported by Israel media to have told closed Knesset committee that Israel is destroying more and more houses. And have nowhere to return. According to quotes from the session, he went on to say the only obvious result will be Gazans choosing to immigrate outside the Strip. But our main problem is finding countries to take them in. Like what? Where's the suggestion that there's an intention for ethnic cleansing? These people are just all a joke. Like, and again, beta male faggot, the fucking gay faggot necklace and shit, faggot haircut, faggot mustache. Can't even bench 2 plates. Oh my god, the demographic data. This was filmed recently. It's pretty clear there's a disproportionate amount of adult male deaths. The only explanation for that is they're targeting Hamas members. Otherwise, if this is just entirely random, like very, what's the term? Unprejudiced killings, and they're also just killing off people's families, then you'd see basically even amount of deaths across the board, like men, women, children, but you don't. You see a massively disproportionate amount of adult male deaths.
Pointed to the fact that over 1,300 families
Routers analyst last updated on April 3rd, 2020. Routers is fucking gay retards, by the way. More than 1,200 Palestinian families in Gaza are completely wiped out, meaning no surviving members remain. Separate reporting was documented cases where 4 generations single family are killed. What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything?
bloodlines have...
Like, this is just fucking retarded. You could find the same thing happening in fucking World War II. Does that mean the United States was committing fucking ethnic cleansing? Like, it's just so fucking stupid.
BTW, do an impersonation of Hitler dying in a puddle of his own blood while calling what happened to him and his Nazi soldiers a genocide.
Mein Leben, mein Scheiße, damn communist, it is all their fault for committing genocide on Germans, Scheiße. There you go, thanks for the donation, Dodo. Oh, you mean the fakey fake bullshit x-ray photos that made no sense, and they couldn't actually do any sort of ballistic or metallurgica testing to determine who shot them, and they just came to the conclusion they're shot by Israelis when they had literally no fucking evidence, and their own photos that they fucking posted of those x-rays contradict their fucking claims. Like, this is just... It's just so... I'm done. I don't even fucking care about this shit anymore. What's the point? Like... Yep. That's your big fluffy cat. Cats are good. What a waste of fucking time, dude. Just so sick of listening. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like, it's the exact same information source, and they're trained to repeat the same nonsense incessantly over and over and over again. You never hear anything fucking new or different. Like, it just tells you right away, these people are just brainwashed, useful fucking idiots. I just can't fucking, like, it's so boring. Like, everyone from random fucktards in, like, a comment section to, like, you know, fucking AOC, Bernie Sanders, everyone, they just say the same fucking bullshit. Ethnic cleansing, this and that, New York Times article, this. Like, I don't fucking care. If everything's the same, what's the point of fucking watching any of this crap? I know exactly what they're gonna say. I know exactly what they're gonna fucking bring up. And it's all the same fucking bullshit that's being debunked a billion times.
They seem to be gone. Because it looks like the United Kingdom can't even deploy a warship to freaking Cyprus because it doesn't have any to spare. Meanwhile, the rest of Europe either sleepwalks through the freaking next war in Europe or gets ready for the next ground war. And the maritime domain seems to be neglected.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
And I didn't know how bad this was until President Trump asked the European nations to send frigates to the Strait of Hormuz to help escort tanker ships through the strait, and they didn't. And at first I thought, all right, well, you know, this is a snub for demanding that Greenland become part of America or one of the other 10,000 freaking...
Hey, dumbass, I don't care about your stupid, dumb fuck, like, what's it called? Fucking, antinatalist bullshit. Like, I want to waste my time with any of that fucking nonsense. Like, I don't give a shit.
Things President Trump has said about NATO and Europe in the last year. But as I look at the numbers, like for the first time...
Mike Tyson impersonation saying how he discovered Crom as the true god, which allowed him to be the most ruthless champion who will rip your heart out.
I wanted to be the most ruthless, the most powerful, the most dangerous boxer in the ring, and I would pray to different gods to see if they can give me any power. And finally, I discovered Crom, and rather than praying to Crom, I just heard his message and realized that he gave me the strength from birth to crush my enemies and to see them driven before me and hear the lamentation of their women. So I hopped in the ring believing in my own strength, and then I killed all my enemies. I ate their children's hearts, and I fucked them until they loved me. Thanks for the donation, Foxtrot.
I actually got scared. And then I realized that the whole of Europe not sending ships to Hormuz was being played as a snub against the president, but in reality, Europe doesn't have any ships to send. And I never noticed this because I tend to stay away from maritime stuff, but I did a lot of research on it. I wrote a whole accompanying white paper at ryanbeth.substack.com for paid members. It's $5 if you're not a member. Both England and France, countries that historically used to float large navies, have struggled to keep up with demands placed on their increasingly small.
Zerka has returned to collaborate with Clavicular.
I'm not trying to be rude. People like you who are designed to go to the nightclub, you know, get dolled up and all that, you guys are literally...
She's not going today.
But she's designed to be useless. Her only skills are to get dolled up to go to a nightclub. She's never going to cook. She's never going to clean. She's never... And if she does, she's going to do it with a knife on her hand. She's going to be holding resentment. And you know how I know? I dated these girls my whole life.
Well, here's the thing.
My whole life, I dated them. And I wouldn't even tell them to go get groceries because I don't want them to, like, fight a raccoon and die. And, things happen to these girls. They're not built for anything useful. Zero.
I just
That's
hate...
why I fuck them.
I just hate when I have to ask for things. You know what I mean?
Like what?
Can you do my laundry? Can you cook? Like, if it's not intuitive, if it doesn't get done without...
You think this girl will ever do laundry?
No.
Look at her
honestly,
face.
no.
She didn't incarnate for laundry, bro.
I'm doing it as soon as you guys leave.
Hurry up.
No, but...
Hey, what's up, bro? You fucking normie. You're not a fucking looks maxer. You're a normie.
But I'll tell you what.
I expose you.
You expose me? Yeah. I'll tell you what, like, you know, for example...
No, you're trying to make her into a housewife. She'll never bend.
Yeah,
Never.
my grandma, every single time, you know, I woke up, she would, you know, make breakfast without me even having to ask.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. Just intuitive, but she'll never do that. You know.
Well, no, I wouldn't say never. I'd say you
Like-
can. No, you can wait 10 years.
I hope I win the lottery tomorrow just so I can just not ever look at this again. Donate Chillers, VG, you didn't watch the part where the SJWs got cooked. They're full of shit. Like, they're all so full of shit.
To say that being anti-Zionism means you're anti-Semitic because you're spitting in the face of
Beta male, faggot. What a fucking, like, I'm just so done.
There's a lottery tomorrow, VG.
Yeah, there is. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Dodo Donate Tellers, do you know this SJW?
Those settlers, I don't like them. I watched a documentary last night on Louis Theroux. He went back after the
Louis Theroux's a fucking white guilt cuck.
October 7th thing and went into like the settlements and
The reality is that the IDF knows that if some retarded Western journalist, you know, stumbles into Jenin and has no idea what's going on and is like taken hostage or some shit, they're going to have to go in. People are going to die. It's going to be an international incident. They just prefer that no tourists like go to some of the sketchier places in Area A of the kind of Palestinian villages or cities in the West Bank. But I think generally both sides were pretty anti-IDF. Like the outposters and settlers, the deep settler people didn't like them there.
Thanks for the donation. Documentary Tellers, why didn't you work out today? Literally had a fucking workout stream today, dipshit.
Smaller navies. Let me give you some numbers here. The UK currently has 2 aircraft carriers, 17 surface combatants, and 7 submarines. To put this into perspective, when Argentina invaded the Falkland Islands in 1982, the UK sent 43 Royal Navy warships. The size of the Royal Navy today is almost half of the size of one part of the Navy that was sent on that operation in 1982. And the rest of Europe doesn't look much better. Again, you can get the numbers in my white paper, ryanbeth.substack.com. Many of the continent's naval forces, especially those of the NATO, have struggled to
You know what's really fucking weird? YouTube is not showing all of my workout live streams. So when you go to manage videos, yeah, I think it's missing this one and this one. Yeah, there's the one missing there. That one's, yeah. And there's the one back training video that's missing. I have no idea why. There's no music that's playing, it's not copywritten, there's no restrictions. It's just not there. It's really weird.
To modernize, and Europe's navies are in abysmal shape. If you stick around till the end, I'll give you 3 potential solutions to at least kickstart the rebuilding and modernization of European navies. On the subject of alliances, a bunch of people wrote me referencing this article in the South China Morning Post about what Pakistani jets in Saudi Arabia mean for security in the Iran war. And I have told people use ground news to inspect your sources. As you can see here, South China Morning Post is owned by the Alibaba Group, which is located in China. And this is a great thing about ground news. They not only show you the ownership of the publication, but getting the whole side of every story. Based on information collected from Jane's Fighting Ships 2024-2025, Europe's navies exhibit...
Yeah, so Pain B, Bad, MK, I just told you, I don't care about talking about your stupid fucking... What's it called? Antinatalist bullshit. I don't fucking care, dude, so just shut up about it. Go talk about it somewhere else.
Some serious...
It's the most stupid fucking dimwit fucking political movement imaginable.
Ability gaps. Taking only NATO members into account here, I found that the continent had 4 aircraft carriers in varying states of usefulness. Many of Europe's navies lacked more modernized large surface combatants, such as cruisers and destroyers. Many navies had few, if any, submarines, and only small contingents of surface combatants that included corvettes and frigates. So raise a glass of frigates. As a point of comparison here, British large surface combatants and small surface combatants numbered less than 20 vessels. The United States Navy, per the Congressional Research Service, has around 84 large surface combatants alone, including 7 Ticonderoga-class cruisers, 75 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, and 2 Zumwalt-class destroyers with 1 on the way. However, we do need to be aware of an issue facing the Navy in its daily operations here. Numbers don't actually mean what you think they mean. Typically, naval assets need to be divided by 3 because one ship is out at sea, the next is preparing to go to sea, crew training, workups, and another ship is undergoing maintenance. So there's always fewer available ships in your inventory. And you might be able to surge the ships that are going out to sea. I don't know about the ones that are in dry dock getting maintenance, but they will be less effective if you surge them. So whenever you buy 3 ships, just remember that you're really only getting 1 ship because the other 2 are busy doing other stuff. And Europe's woes, their naval woes, have affected NATO's ability to patrol its own waters, which have become even more important with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Standing NATO Maritime Groups, or SNMGs, have seen better days. In 1968, NATO members, including the United States, began patrolling NATO's waters for the first time, defending against Soviet incursions and maintaining open seas. And much of this can be attributed to declining naval assets and the lack of relevant NATO missions for an era well outside the Cold War. So I get it. But, another thing that happened to Europe's navies, other than the dissolution of the Soviet Union, the global war on terror. Again, I didn't really realize this until I researched it. There is a finite amount of money.
Jasmine.
And you can help doing counterinsurgency in Afghanistan. Afghanistan or Iraq, and that means less money for your Navy. So when many of these NATO members shifted to counterterrorism, they kind of neglected their maritime obligations. Navies aren't cheap, and shifting to counterterrorism compounded this issue with NATO's navies. And Europe's navies are smaller. Yeah, this was a trend that was explored as far back as 2013 by the American Enterprise Institute. And while you shouldn't equate size with might, right? You can have a large fleet of crappy ships. It does kind of give insight into naval capabilities. Fewer ships mean limited options and fewer naval capabilities.
Did you guys notice Richard can't even get 100 concurrent viewers anymore? Like getting above 100 for him is a good day for him. He used to get like 150 to 200 concurrent viewers regularly, 1 to 2 years ago. Look how boring he is. It's no wonder lol. If a girl in our tribe has her period, she needs to get fucked. There is no age of consent. Consent doesn't even exist.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
These naval commanders and political leaders then have to decide where to commit these naval resources for fear of being stretched too thin. In total, European defense spending saw a loss of...
Attention. Chain all blacks. DurianRider is king. Blacks belong in prison. Thank you for listening, bro. It helps with my depression. I don't have depression, I have impression on you, mama. The final characters will be used to say DurianRider is king. Thanks.
That's nice. Thanks for the donation.
One day when I have enough I'll boycott Richard, stop donating to him cold turkey for some period of time. Make him feel the pain a little bit because he needs to have an intervention. The entitlement from him is insane. He thinks it's okay to be boring.
Yeah, thanks for the donation, 21st.
about 24 billion euros, around 11%.
Yeah, you know, I think I either need to be on ADHD meds or I should just keep taking nicotine. Oh man, my
Speaking of DurianRider, I think you might need some homeless maxing tips from him since you'll probably be doing that rather soon unless Isaac will let you freeload off him. Hope Pat is okay with being homeless with you too.
Yeah, I really should just move to Australia so I can be homeless in good weather. Thanks for the donation, dude. Cat. You know, I'm a little surprised at this point he hasn't gone a little more viral with people just, you know, kind of like Jason Genova.
We're here in Adelaide, Australia. Radelaide, best. Adelaide produces more elite cyclists anywhere in the world. Crazy, but look behind and you'll see why it's true. Michelle gets a spin. There we go, look at that. Adelaide. What climb is this? You recognise this climb? Can you beat my time on this climb? Let us know down below. But come up here on Strava, find this climb, beat my time. It's Mount Osmond. Anyway, Specialized SL2. I can afford any of the bikes, whatever. This is what I ride, man. This is literally what I ride. One of the bikes I ride, an SL2 SLX Tarmac. Incredible bike. This bike is like, man, the stiffness of this bike, the ride feel, the stability. Just working on this bike is so easy. It's so easy. I can instruct. This is a great bike to learn mechanics on. Even this BB30 OSBB thing, it behaves okay, you know? 27.2 round posts, external clamp, external cable, it's just easy. And it's light. This is lighter than my SLA S-Works, which was stolen recently. This is lighter. This bike cost me $850 Australian dollars. Near new, had different wheels on it. About 5 years ago almost, three, whatever it was. And it's just in mint condition. Beautiful bike, rides so good, so much good power transfer. Pure dope bike. This bike is amazing. Yet you can really customize the bike fit, okay? These are the bikes that make people fall in love with cycling. I love it. Everyone who rides this bike loves it. They're just great. So Specialized, get back to selling stuff like this. This is stuff that made your brand. This is the stuff that made Lance Armstrong and co. and all the crew. You know, Lance was like the mouthpiece of cycling. And this stuff, people rode this bike, or the Trek, Madone, Amondas, etc. It's lightweight fuel, sub 7 kilo rim brake. The mechanics like working on them. Everyone loves these bikes, man. They're freaking awesome. Like, you know what I mean? Hummus, sorry. The hummus, the ball chickpea stuff you put on your vegan stuff. This is stiff, bro. This is battleship stiff. The new stuff, man, is noodly, okay? Noodly, flexy stuff that cracks so easy. $1,000 Aussie on a bike today.
No matter how old you are as a guy, you would have to be severely mentally ill not to find femboys attractive.
I don't know what Sverage's take on that would be, but thanks for the donation, Sverage. Don't know what they're doing with all that.
Alright, here we are camping. What time is it? It's
I wonder if that's a real Rolex. It's hard to tell. I can't actually see the magnifier. That's usually a dead giveaway, the magnifier. That looks like a real magnifier, so it might actually be a real Rolex.
getting late, so it's time to eat quick, go to bed, boom, cash, save money, don't pay rent. Tent is the new rent, as they say. So using the headlamps to film with this. This is from the rechargeable ones. This is the centerpiece that comes out, plug out into a wall. If I power sockets at places, we'll park here. Bike's parked, straddle side up. And got some ducky. Michelle, run us through what's on the menu for dinner.
Okay, well, let me just talk about what's essential. Food, everything, gadgets aside. You need spoons, okay? Spoons come really handy for food and everything else, might be opening stuff. But let's say you don't have a rice cooker.
Yeah.
And all those things. Then you go to ready-made food, and those are your vegan canned foods, right?
This is a vegan camp out.
Sliced beetroot, it might be creamed corn, might be corn kernels, might be this, right? So you're gonna open this, it might be bread. You're gonna need something to scoop it out, so spoon is really essential. Bread is a really good one. You can even find this dumpster dive.
Yeah, this actually came from the dumpster, this one. This is a very vegan one, Australian tip-top one, vegan bread.
Yeah.
You're not tired of this.
And you can even get like some vegan like lentil things or soups from NQR. Not
Yeah.
quite right. This is one of them.
Speak for yourself.
So it's like soups and things like that. And then kettle, because
That looks good.
there's water out, and if you feel like you need to, cook up some noodles, rice noodles or something, it's really easy. Just with more water you get from the stations out there. And you can get these veggies or like capsicums or things that you can eat raw, like cucumbers, tomatoes, things like that.
Is that nice?
It's a rice cooker.
A bit of water popping.
Yeah,
Peas popping. Okay.
under the thing. And I've crushed garlic
I have a rice cooker. Rice is nice.
here for the seasonings.
I really like rice. I get to eat some rice in 3 days from now. Got to train legs tomorrow, back biceps the next day. And then the day after that, it's a rest day and I get to have some rice.
And stuff like that. And here I got some chili oil actually.
Chili oil.
Yeah.
I'll pass on that.
Drained chili oil.
Oh, you drain it? Why do you drain it?
Oh, because of the
Again, homeless, no worries, bro.
or
My dad is an Indian astrologer based in Brampton, Ontario. If anyone watching is based in the GTA, please consider using my father's services. He has amazing healing powers and can help you a lot.
Are you looking for Indian astrologer in Brampton, Canada? Master Durga Shankar, best astrologer and psychic reader, specialized in bringing back your ex-love or ex-husband, and give solution for all your problems like ex-love back, health problem solution, business problem, divorce problem, marriage problem, family problem solution, relationships problem, education problem solution, work problem and unlucky etc. He do prayers and remove all negative energy, bad dreams, jealousy people and clean all kind of stress, depression, arguments and many more, etc. 100% results. All religions welcome. Your visit is privacy and confidential. Call and WhatsApp 647904.
Where the fuck did you find this? Thanks for the donation, Skirt. I just have to go take a piss. I'll be right back. No. Isaac's listening to black people music like a degenerate.
Said, no working.
I haven't had any problems really with my e-bike. It did a weird thing. Might have just had something to do with I don't know, cell balancing or something, because I had it stored over the winter. But it just wouldn't turn on, and I had to like cycle for a little bit and then press the button a few times, and it finally turned on. Everything was fine after that. Oh, I really like my e-bike. Yeah, there's that might actually be a real Rolex. Wow, pigeon. Oh my god. Wow, that's a nice pigeon. That's a really good pigeon. Look at that pigeon pecking. It's funny how they peck. Why doesn't he just gently pick up the seeds and eat them? Why does he have to peck? Look at them do their pecking. You can't just pick it up. They have to peck.
Welcome to my kitchen. What time is it? It's...
Yeah, I think that might actually be a real Rolex. The magnifier actually works. Usually with the knockoffs, they don't.
9 o'clock. So my kitchen drawers. And then we've got this. Welcome to Australia, mate. Look at that. Redback spider. Whoa.
Yeah, that's deadly.
Big. Mama. See what it does. Whoa. They call them bluff. Yeah, I love it, man. These spiders are awesome. They eat the cockroaches and stuff. This spider's been here for just over a year. And yeah, it eats a lot of stuff. So I'll give it a bit of water in there as well. Keep it hydrated. But yeah, if you see spiders, man, just leave them. Like redbacks do really well inside. Here she is down there. Can I zoom in? So yeah, they even eat. This one's a big one. It's gonna get bigger. They even eat like small mice and stuff, man. So you know, cats chewed up some stuff in there. So yeah, that's the deal there. Beautiful spiders, man. But yeah, they're harmless, man. Right? Don't touch them, but they're harmless. They're cool. Just leave them be.
Those aren't harmless. They're deadly. If you get bitten, it can kill you.
Leave them be. Don't use pesticide, man. Pesticide, cancer risk. Spiders, good to go, bro. No one got cancer from a spider, but people did from pesticides. The government said it's safe, gang. The government said it's safe, so obviously it is safe. You know, you can trust your government. They will tell you the best information. The seafood is safe. The ocean's not polluted. The algal bloom doesn't affect it. Apparently, the government has spoken, and now the advertisements are there. The mercury in the fish and the chemicals and the microplastics, it's safe. It's safe. The advert on the bus stop is still somewhat confident.
Who let bro inside of a school?
Yeah, that's a good question, given its criminal history.
Sun. I wake up to say hi to the sun.
He's the one who adds in the weird laser beam eyes, by the way. I don't know why he does that.
I run a cold shower. I go into a cold shower just to get my body going. I go for a...
People like to joke around like Joey's doing a German salute, so I just go with it now. Here's your boy.
I wondered where my cat was.
Oh. Oh my god. He's so sentient. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's funny how he does that with his one arm.
I wonder no more.
Oh my goodness.
I know what you've been up to.
Look at his face.
I know.
Wow. So sentient. That's a good cat. Thanks for the donation, even though.
Run, I go for a workout, and all of that is done before 6:30 a.m.
Why the hell is this guy allowed out of school? Really fucking weird. Seriously weird. 21st century dollars based DurianRider.
19 will be very different to be able to deal with than the one that was underway when I took office. The vaccination of the unvaccinated.
Really low. All right, let me just adjust this camera screen here. Here we go. Here. All right, we're just about to have some fruit. Now, not too much fruit. You know, like fruit is okay in moderation. If you're an athlete, you know, I'm pretty fit and lean and healthy, but Fruit's got a lot of sugar in it, so keto's the way to go. Low carbs where it's at. Bit of fruit, okay, like this is my cheat meal, and I'll have a third of this, and then throw the rest out. Otherwise, if you keep the fruit in the house, it's tempting and you want to eat it, and it's just sugar, and it just leads to more fruit, more sugar consumption. I'm going to run a marathon today. Let's talk about why I got the vaccination, and you should too. Let's just, we all need to stay home, get the shot. Some people call it the clot shot. Idiots. I've got something in my lung lately. Out of breath, coughing a lot. Must.
Weird. He was against the Pfizer vaccine. I didn't know that. Guess I shouldn't be
To the video game, please get your vaccinations. Get vax, get vax, get vax. Do the right thing. Get that shot, bro. Get that shot. You'll be totally fine. Nothing wrong with it. It's legit. Makes you feel healthy. And stay away from sugar. I'm gonna put a hat on because it's a bit bright.
I wish I had gotten the COVID vaccine earlier than I did, because I got COVID and it fucked my shit up.
Right here. Stay away from sugar, kids. I'm eating a carrot here. I'll have a carrot once a week. Not too many carrots because there's a lot of sugar in there. Let's cut to the mainstream media here. Got some great information about how to stay safe during this crazy pandemic.
No jab? No worries. Victoria may be the vaccination state, but it's a free-for-all come...
Please, stay home, man.
Okay, well, thanks for the donation, 21st.
In me, I just have so much faith in my government. There's no corruption going on. There's no industry bias at all. Because you can trust the government above all. They have always your best interest in heart. They do. They really, really do. Okay. And we need seafood. Humans, we're related to penguins. Humans, we're related to seals. All right.
How about this nigger? Email DurianRider right now on stream, or I will not donate to you for the next 3 days, effective immediately.
Okay, fine. There we go. There you go. Emailed him. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
We're designed to eat seafood. It's part of our claws. Look at our clawy hands. We grab fish like we can't actually, can we? Cat food. Alright? Cat diet. Eat like cats. Eat like cats, man. We're designed to eat like cats. Aren't we? That's what Joe Rogan said. Right, we've got an Avanti Corsa. This is a 2002, 2003 model. Still goes good, man. Still goes good. It's got 9-speed Ultegra, 6500 on there. I'm going to put some new bars and stem on there. Got the 4K in spec, should be good. Alloy steel, it looks like. These are good bikes, mate. It's heavy for, obviously, these wheels, these Mavic Elites, Sierra Elites. They're still good wheel set, man. But this bike cost me it's about $120. Okay, so yeah. Still goes good today. It was from the original owner as well, so it's hardly done any miles. I like these bikes, man. I like these bikes. ISM saddle, Yes, saddle's a personal preference. But these bikes are great, man. They're good for racing. You can still race did one of this, maybe with some lighter wheels, but if you're a strong rider, you're going to be flying this. And this, $120, man. $120. 9-speed chains, can still get them. 9-speed chain rings, can still get them. 9-speed shifters, can still get them. Cheap, dirt cheap. This bike is just, it's a lovely bike. It's got heritage, it's classic for me. $120, man. And I'm riding this bike, I'm dropping people on $20,000 bikes. Crazy, man, okay? Obviously, I go faster on my super lightweight bikes, but this is still good enough for me. If you got your budget's only $120, this bike with some cycling shoes, neon helmet, you're gonna be getting some mad gains on your cardio. Mad gains. All right, so you don't spend big bucks to be super lean, super ripped as a cyclist. You don't.
Durian?
Not even flexing, bro. Not even flexing. Asking people what they had for breakfast. What'd you have for breakfast today? What's your typical I should say, what's your typical breakfast? Because it can vary different days.
I've been really
shade
liking
here.
sweet beans.
What's that?
SKC sweet beans.
Sweet
Baked
beans.
beans.
There's baked beans for
White bread,
breakfast.
yes.
Come in there. Here we go. Yeah. So what'd you have? You had baked beans today.
Yeah. And bread. And sweets, lollipop.
Yeah.
Gingins right now.
Gingins. What's a gingin?
It's a ginger candy.
Oh yeah.
Made from ginger, sugar, tapioca starch.
So it's low fat, low protein, vegan.
Yeah. Sweets.
Yeah. Okay.
And now we're gonna get fruit.
What sort of fruit would you like to get?
Lychees, watermelon, things that are in season.
Yeah.
Because they taste best and they're sweetest.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I found if a fruit is in the shop, it's in season. It's because for fruit to be grown, it has to be in season somewhere.
Somewhere. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But, I mean, Australia. Support Australia.
Yeah. I hear you. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Fruit in season. All right, so we're gonna get some fruit. Very good. So your sugar girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good mood. Sugar keeps you happier. Definitely. Sugar boosts your serotonin and your dopamine and reduces cortisol.
I like the ears. You should get Pat those ears. I like animal ears.
VG the sexiest man alive until these niggas pull up.
No, I'm sexier than Henry Cavill.
In school was Fat Cavill, which was a very apt nickname.
Yeah, well, you can take a look at my physique versus Henry Cavill's. I think I mogged the guy, so it's too much of a pussy to take steroids. Now, Dolph Lundgren, yeah, he might have one up on me. Oh, that's a different story. Thanks for the donation, Poopy Doop.
Michelle from China.
Hi.
Where do you get your protein from? What's in your chopping board? What's going on here?
Okay, I see a lot of young people eat their food on a chopping board. They have their steak.
Oh. Well, hello there. Come cuddle. Come cuddle. Come cuddle. Yes, come on, cuddle. Come on. Jump. Come on, cuddle. That's right. Cuddle. That's right. My baby go cuddle. I want my baby to cuddle. This is my cuddle cat. You cuddle good. Yeah, you cuddle good. That's right. Yes, baby go cuddle. Oh. Baby cuddle. Do you guys see my baby? Do you guys see this? How handsome? Yeah, you're special. This baby cuddle. Mwah. Love my cuddle baby. Here's a really good cuddle baby. Look how nice he is. Yeah, you're nice. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, you're so good. You're so good. Yeah. Such a good baby. He may even be the best baby. Isn't that right? Yeah, that's the best baby.
Eggs, avocado, okay?
Body parts.
And one cherry tomato. And I want to show you, this is what I eat without
Yeah.
having to, oh my gosh, OMAD diet, whatever.
Craziness.
Okay, so I do have cherry tomatoes, but as you can see, it's unlimited amounts, okay?
Yep.
These are from the bin, actually. So
From the bin, excuse me?
yeah, they're perfectly fine.
You
just
dumpster
thrown out
dive?
in the dumpster. And look at this. I have rice here. I'm not
Yeah.
scared of rice. Carb up.
Carb up.
Okay, unlimited rice.
You
okay?
put oil in there or ghee?
No, this
Healthy
is just
fats?
this is just Asian style. Put it in there.
Rice and water.
Rice
okay.
cooker.
Okay.
Plain. Okay. I got bananas here. More here.
Yeah.
I got mango, which I'm eating. I got oranges I'm eating here. Kiwis here. Fruit here. Beans here. Okay. Bread here. This is what's on my chopping board. Oh, water even here.
Mm.
Okay. Onions here. Okay. So there is no eggs, avocado, butter, steak. This is the rainbow diet to feel the rainbow.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So you're a carb muncher.
This is the way to go. You shouldn't be having dead animal body parts on a chopping board, eating off of it. That is just weird.
But like,
Come on, think about
what
it.
about protein? What do you eat protein for?
This is where the protein is.
I ain't trying to get like really look like a rugby player. Why are you trying to look like
those girls
a
are
model?
the ones. I don't think those girls are wanting that.
Don't girls like load up in protein shakes?
Whatever
'cause
you want,
they
but
look
I'm
like
just-
a rugby player
I'm just saying.
on roids.
Eat the
On the
rainbow to
decker?
feel the rainbow, and we don't need to be harming animals. Number 2, okay?
No trend.
And don't be scared of your rice. Don't let crazy people tell you.
So do you eat small meals then?
Does this look like a small meal? I'm still eating. Thank you.
Yeah, she eats a lot. This girl does.
I've only gotten started, so I usually have my fruit.
You eat for hours.
I do, and
You
it's
do.
endless.
It's like a full-time
Next
eater.
meal, finish this rice, cooking the next rice.
Yeah.
I'm having my cornflakes, eating more stuff.
I've seen you wake up, make
Eat my
food,
bread.
eat it, and then go back to sleep.
Yes, 3 o'clock if I'm hungry,
Yeah.
I need to come and eat, because then when I wake up, I'm gonna be like okay?
Yeah.
So I need to have a good dinner,
Yeah.
especially so I can sleep well, recover well in my sleep, wake up feeling good, so I can go again. Or else
Yeah.
I'll wake up and be like, oh my god, I didn't eat enough last night, and then the whole day you're like,
Trying to catch up
yeah,
on the back foot.
mm-hmm,
All right, good
So-
advice.
yeah.
Carb up, don't fear the carbs, and keep your protein fat
Mm-hmm.
low.
And rice only takes like 15-20 minutes to
Yeah,
cook.
that's cheap,
Even
that's
have
good.
couscous as well. See, while I wait for my rice to cook, I'm making my couscous. My 3-minute couscous.
What's your favorite?
Sleepy donated $2. Frank Tefano Reddit. Free range mold. He cut into the roof, fell on him, see a glorious amount of black mold. Let's be honest, it's not unintentional. This is a new product he's harvesting, high quality black mold. He basically just spread an absolute crap ton of black mold spores into his bedroom. How bad? Edit message to Frank, homeowner. Check on your health and your house. If you are reading this, you probably think people are overreacting or out to get you, but the physics of your house and biology of your brain don't care about your opinions. House is a total loss. Water has been pouring out of your insulation for months in every restoration industry. This isn't a fix, it's a tear down. Moisture has traveled through every wall and floor. Even if you fix the roof, mold is already living inside the framing of your house. Every time you cut a hole, you're releasing a bomb of spores that settle on everything you own. Nasty smell is a warning. Smells microbial. Volatile organic compounds. Literally the gas released by mold as it eats your house. You can smell it. You're inhaling it. Migraines, chronic fatigue, blah blah, pain meds, just to sleep are first signs of mycotoxin poisoning. He's always had that though. Sudden paranoia, thinking people are stealing from you or that there are secret societies is a documented medical symptom of frontal lobe inflammation. Well, again, he's been thinking that for a while. I think he's just schizophrenic. 7-day bloom within 1 week of you cutting into those ceilings. You'll see new mold growing on your furniture, clothes, mattress. 300K house, the whole home mold and structural water damage is often worse, less than the land it sits on. Yeah, he's pretty fucking stupid. I don't know what the fuck this dumbass is thinking. Urgent message, Frank is actually in danger. You've been complaining about fatigue, migraines. All your symptoms are associated with your eye surgery. Could be explained by exposure chronically to black mold. Well, again, like all these things he's complaining about, like he's been saying he's had this for like since he was living with his parents. So, I don't know. Thanks for the donation, Sleepy.
Androgenic clip and new John.
I'm no longer in the US. And I'm
What is this?
not sure how much I can say. I'm no longer in the US. And I'm not sure how much I can say, but I can say this situation is fucked. Stay tuned.
Great. I don't know why I had to see that. We've already reacted to this. Thanks for the donation, Poopy Doop.
Favorite rice you like to eat?
My favorite rice to eat is a white rice.
White rice.
Yeah.
Jasmine, basmati, sushi rice.
I don't really care for that.
I like sticky rice. The sticky sushi rice is just the fucking best. It's superior in terms of taste and texture to all other rices. I remember there was a Thai place in Toronto that had really nice coconut rice. Coconut rice is pretty delish. I could eat some coconut rice. Did you see Paul Saladino tweeted that most of his diet is fruit and he eats vegetables sometimes? He's such a tool. Yeah. Yep. Go figure, right? You eat nothing but meat and you feel like shit. Go figure. Weird. Trashes fruits and vegetables for so long and then that's all he eats now. Weird. Fucking idiot. Just worthless cocksucker.
That, but I just know I don't really like long grain loose rice. So
Why is that?
I don't know the texture. I think it's a bit hard. I prefer something that's like
Brown rice can be good, but it takes longer to cook. And I mean, yeah, generally it doesn't taste as good. White rice is just so fucking satisfying. Just nothing better than a nice big bowl of white rice with just some like tofu or mock meat or something, or broccoli. Just white rice is great.
tight.
Yeah.
Can I describe rice as tight? And I think the loose basmati rice is too loose.
Okay.
So a tight rice. Glutinous rice, yes, I do like, but I also like jasmine rice, so it's not as like so tight.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
But you will eat it if that's all you got?
Eat what?
The basmatis?
Yeah, I do eat those. Eat those. Yeah.
So
I
have a
eat
preference for tight white rice?
tight white rice. Yeah, white rice, soft. I don't like hard rice.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing.
Soft and tight.
Yes.
I think she means sticky.
Come meet the family. Start listening,
Oh, cat.
This is the Johnny cat.
Oh my god, there's cats.
Johnny boy, eh?
Wow.
Little muzzle check. Johnny, this
Whoa, those are good cats.
muzzle. Little muzzle check.
Oh my goodness.
Muzzle check.
Wow.
Eh? Muzzle check.
Where did he find those cats? Those are really good cats.
Muzzle check. Bobby, meatball, the fatty. The fattest of them all.
Wow, he is a chub chub.
Gorge snout. Snout muzzle.
That's a beautiful chub chub.
Let's see, Bebe, the chirping cat.
Oh, that cat does chirp.
Little snub nose muzzle. Eh?
Wow.
Little white snow muzzle.
They look related.
And then where we got hat cat.
Oh my god.
Hat cat, come over here.
Oh.
Little chirpy chirpies. Little shy one. Friendly but shy. And the last little cat. The little bald pussy cat.
How come he's got so many cats?
Well, Thundra. That little muzzle. That little muzzle. A little very shy little cat. But he's very affectionate as well.
Oh my god. Those are pretty good cats.
So how to get abs? It's all about having that lean body fat. My diet is mostly processed carbohydrate, and I'm a cardio athlete. Runner, cycling is my forte. I've been doing weights consistently since 1996, and just being active is great. I don't run much. I've ran about 250 kilometers this year in 2025, not per week. Some people are doing 250 a week. I've done 250 about for the whole year in 2025, and we're in December here now. And cycling, done maybe 2,500 K, so not a lot at all on a bike. I've done 2,100 in a week before. Actually, it was 2055, 2,055 in a week. So, all right, nutrition is everything. Eating that low-fat, ultra-low-fat, low-protein vegan diet, high carbohydrate. Always have unlimited sugars, unlimited starches, rice, corn, millet, teff, things like that. Unlimited fruits. Those three things: the sugars, the fruits, the starches. Sugar, fruit, starch. Unlimited, as much as you want. How much is enough? Do you have no food noise? When you have enough fruit, rice, sugars, starches, corn, those things, carbohydrates, your food noise just goes boop, it gets turned off right, when you had enough, and then eventually it comes back on a bit. Have some more, boop, turns off. But when you're cutting your carbs, the food noise never shuts up, and then people on phentermine, they're on all this weight loss stuff, and they're just starving themselves, man, right? So it just doesn't work, and then you go fucking crazy, and you're fucking losing reality. And then sugar deficiency equals stimulant dependency. Simple as that, man. Simple as that. Easy. Yeah.
You know, I wonder if he ever gets stopped by the police hanging out with his girlfriend, Michelle, because, the age difference thing, and I don't know if anybody would think she might be underage. I could imagine him getting stopped, like if they check into a hotel, the police getting called on him. I wonder if that's ever happened. Well, they're having fun.
Of defense spending overall, and European defense establishments, along with policymakers, are still trying to.
Samdog walks Ben here at 6:30. He brings up how Trump has been with enriching his own family via tariffs, his crypto coin, and the staggering amount of familial corruption which Ben concedes. LLLLLLLLLLL.
The president is a.
That's hilarious. Really? I wouldn't have figured Ben would concede on that. Let me see. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Neverland in term 2 as opposed to what we saw in term 1.
What about the fact that when Trump pulls his hand out of the fire, he often pulls out lots of cash with it? So take the tariffs, right? I understand that you draw comfort from the fact that the Supreme Court backstopped some basic sanity with respect to the tariffs, but he nevertheless used this tariff policy and other levers of American state power to wring out an astonishing amount of money from our allies and enemies. I mean, he slaps a 46% tariff on Vietnam. Vietnam gets that reduced by greenlighting a $1.5 billion resort deal for the Trump family. By most estimates, the Trump family has made somewhere between $1.4 and $4 billion now, grifting with their cryptocurrency schemes and other machinations. None of this is getting walked back, at least not until they get sent to prison. But
you asked. Sorry, I did forget to say the one thing that has shocked me is the level of familial corruption. I will say that has surprised me.
What amount of corruption would really matter? I mean, what amount is so much that you'd have to say, okay, I disavow this president?
Well, again, I'm not sure, and I said this sort of last time we talked as well. I'm not sure what it would mean to disavow, because politics is a sort of choice of lesser of two evils in terms of the policy that I wish to see. So disavow Trump in favor of what? I'm happy to disavow his behavior with regard to World Liberty Financial. I think the first conservative to talk about that on air when it broke, and I've talked about it consistently ever since. It's sort of like saying, what level of corruption would have caused you to disavow Biden when Biden was running against Trump? I mean, politics is inherently oppositional.
No, it is. Yeah, so it's a lesser of two evils calculation. But I mean, we came from a world where, had President Obama received a cashmere sweater from some foreign power, it would have hit the news cycle as some kind of scandal. And now we're in a world where we're just, we're counting billions. And
yes, I was stronger than Andrew Huberman when I was natural. The guy doesn't really train particularly hard, and he's a fucking dork.
If you had a kid and they allegedly threw gummy the same way this black kid did, would you literally murder him? Like literally, not figuratively?
Let me see.
PlayStation 5. How you picked my cat up and slammed it on the ground multiple times. Do it. Now pick it up and do it again. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me move this for you, baby, so you know it's real. I want you to raise it up on your tiptoes and slam that bitch as hard as you can, like you did my motherfucking cat. Pick it up and do that shit again. Since you got anger issues, we gonna fix them today. Pick it up and do that shit again. Pick it up and do that shit again. Pick that shit up and do it again. Pick that shit up and do it again. Pick that shit up and do it again. This is your punishment.
Yeah, I'd slam him on the fucking ground. What a fucking asshole kid. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
The billions don't seem to...
Yeah, that mom seems pretty based. Like, you know, it's... I'm not going to expect a parent to, like, slam their own kid onto the ground, but that parent seems pretty based.
To matter. I mean, what would be so scandalous on this front where you'd have to say, all right, this is just incompatible with American democracy and America's role in the world? I mean, again, this touches other things. This touches foreign policy, in my view. I mean, if you ask yourself, had Maduro had the wisdom to have purchased $1 billion worth of Trump's meme coin, do you still think he'd be running Venezuela?
I mean, I can't speak to that since it didn't happen, but I will say that if he had done that and then the president had suddenly come out in favor of Maduro, I would have thought that that was insipid and insane. So,
right. I mean, I just think that there's such self-dealing and such corruption and such a focus on self here that it's hard to say that that Trump is effectively representing anyone other than himself and his own.
Well, I mean, I think that when it comes to the interest that he's been pursuing in crypto, I think you're selling past the sale with me, Sam. I mean, you're not arguing with somebody who's arguing with you.
No, it's just not. It's not just crypto. It touches everything. Like, so I mean, so you and I are going to talk. We'll talk about the war in Iran. I think you and I will probably view it in very similar ways, except for the fact that I think you probably will draw a lot of.
It's always the black kids. They don't have empathy in their DNA and need to learn it. They don't empathize with animals unless they are taught to.
Don't know how true that is. I've seen plenty of white kids abuse animals, so. But yeah, that's pretty fucked. I always had more empathy for animals than I did people when I was a kid. I could never imagine, like, hurting my cat, but yeah, I'd beat the fuck out of some other kids. Thanks for the donation, 21st. Dodo donate $2. I don't think parents should force their children to destroy their stuff, especially with something that costs money for. No, that's fine. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
From Trump being in charge and doing the things you think he should be doing, whereas I think because in my view, he believes almost nothing except in his own just gratifying his own rapacious appetites, that he's only accidentally aligned with the interests of Israel or the interests of the West against jihadism. And I think he's capable of selling out anything you think he cares about in favor of self-interest. I think he would cut a deal with Gulf states. I mean, just take the fact that we're selling NVIDIA chips to UAE, even though they do military exercises with China. And this poses obvious security concerns. That's just that was a World Liberty Financial deal, right? That seems to cut against our interests.
Well, so here's sort of my question: is you are using his intent to try to discern future pathways for his behavior, and the point that I'm making is that if that were the case, you probably could not have predicted many of the things that he has done on the foreign policy front, including his action in Iran.
Have you ever witnessed or heard from your friends or peers at school that they abused an animal, and did you stop talking to them after you learned that? I remember some asshole kid who used to intentionally stomp on bees for no reason. Fucking scumbag.
There was a kid who I knew. He didn't go to my school, but I saw him kicking his dog. I beat the ever-living fuck out of him. I talked about this in the Turkey Tom vid I did, but like I pretty much annihilated that guy. I don't know what happened to him. His parents might have like skipped town because they were worried that their son got attacked so badly, but I didn't see him after that. He fell off the face of the earth. So thanks for the donation, though, 21st.
Based on.
Yeah, the only other thing that I can recall was there was some like dumbass fucking kid in the 6th grade that was in my class, and my teacher had us do some gardening at the front of the school. We were like planting flowers or something, and this stupid ass kid was picking up worms and stomping on him. I was actually about to hit him over the head with a shovel, and the teacher saw him do that, and then the teacher basically punished him and, you know, put him in timeout and had him do detention and all that shit. But I literally had a shovel in my hand, and I was about to hit him over the head with a shovel. Because it's not that I even care particularly that much about worms. It's just, like, you're that much of, like, a fucking cunt that you're gonna step on worms for fun. You don't deserve to live. So, yeah. Thanks for the donation, though, 21st.
Just pure self-interest. The only thing I can do, I try not to do this in just generally, is attribute motive to people, because motivism is a great way to shortcut politics and actually prevent sane conversations, because you can always attribute motive to somebody's political position. Somebody may be in favor of instituting Obamacare because they believe that it's going to save lives, or somebody may be in favor of Obamacare because they believe that it's going to end up with money in their pocket. The bottom line is the Obamacare policy good or bad? So I try not to do this too much. I try to do this actually with Democrats and Republicans as well. Try not to go to, why are they doing this? Is it for nefarious purposes or is it for good purposes? Because to me, when it comes to politics, the intent matters a lot less than the actual efficacy of the policy or the through line of the policy. I think with President Trump, even if you want to make the case that what he does is driven by self-interest, I would say that there's some complexity to self-interest in President Trump. I think, first of all, many people are driven by self-interest in different ways. There's monetary self-interest. There's also the self-interest of popularity, the self-interest of notoriety, of attention. And I think that you see many of those things emerge with
that
President.
worm that your teacher saved later went on to infect Bobby Kennedy Jr.'s brain and eat half of it.
I don't know if it was that type of worm, Dodo. I think we're talking about earthworms versus parasitic brain worms. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
And Trump in a wide variety of different ways, sometimes in conflict with one another. But the only thing that I can adjudicate at the end of the day is whether a policy or an idea is good or bad. And am I getting more of that or less of that from this president? And again, this I think goes to maybe, unfortunately, what politics has become for me and for a lot of other people, which is the president is not a moral paragon. In my view, the president has not been a moral paragon for a long time, and that's not President Trump only. I think that it's been a long time since we've looked to presidents as our moral paragons. The president is a plumber. Is he going to fix my toilet or is he not going to fix my toilet? And then I have to make a judgment as to whether this president fixing my toilet is either effective, and if he's overcharging me, and what the alternative would have been for the plumber next door to fix my toilet. Would he have been effective, or would he have charged me more, or would he have left footprints on the floor?
Okay, we take something like the reframing of January 6th as a day of love, right? I mean, this is you once said this was the most horrifying thing I've seen in American politics in my lifetime. You called it inexcusable, unjustifiable, awful on every level, disgusting on every level, and just terrible. Now, but Trump has since pardoned everyone involved. He called these people, many of whom were caught stabbing police officers in the face with flagpoles, great patriots, and he referred to them as hostages when they were in prison. And now we have an official White House website that reframes this day in the most Orwellian and delusional way, and that advertises this reframing to the entire world as the view of our country, the view that our country officially has of it. Again, that for me, these are moral and political errors that are so catastrophic as to be disqualifying, and yet you seem to have declined to pass any further judgment on this. What's your sense of that?
Again, in what way? You keep coming back to this word disqualifying, and the question is disqualifying in what sense?
Well,
in
just to say that almost anyone else in office would be better than this when I'm focusing on this particular outcome, right? I mean, no other president would have done this that we could have elected.
I mean, I agree to a certain extent. The only reason I say to a certain extent is because I think that reframing of things that I consider to be pretty dark moments in American history have been reframed in the past, but not to that extent. I will agree. The thing that I'm pointing out here is that when you say disqualifying, the question is against whom?
Okay, well, I'll run through. I mean,
the toilet needs to be fixed.
This is all,
you don't have to. You're making again, Sam. You seem to want to make. Well, you seem to want to make the case to me that Donald Trump is a bad man who thinks bad things and has said bad things, and therefore is incumbent on me to support Kamala Harris or to support John Ossoff or to support whomever else is put up in place of President Trump. Number one, he's not eligible for election again. Number two, in the last election cycle, I did not support him in the primaries. Number three, when it was him against Joe Biden, then that was a binary choice. And when it was him against Kamala Harris, it was a binary choice. Yeah. And again, the question to me was, which one of these presidents is going to be more likely to mirror my policy preferences, not whether on a raw level I would have Donald Trump babysit my children or maintain my trust account.
There's more that you could be doing in your commentary to acknowledge the changing political landscape, I think. So for instance, I agree with you. You only had a choice between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
21st $20, nigga, 90% of this money is going to go to fraud, and Californians will be no better off. There will be the same level of healthcare costs, same housing costs. This will change nothing except make rich people leave. Billionaire tax, implement a one-time tax on the state's 200 billionaires to fund healthcare programs. This happens every fucking time. You know, like, okay, I'll tell you what this is. There are very upset poor people living in California that are paying, you know, ridiculous state taxes, a ridiculous amount of fucking rent, and they're living, you know, in close proximity to very well-off, wealthy people, you know, like in Beverly Hills. And this kind of horseshit is something that appeases, you know, a certain voting demographic where it's like, I hate rich people. Yeah, tax them more. That'll help me somehow.
Not eligible for election again. I don't know. There is talk about him possibly receiving a third term.
You mean Trump? Yeah, I know. I have a feeling he's gonna try because he's, like, crazy, but we'll see. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. So yeah, basically this horse shit just appeals to a certain voter demographic where, these fucking dumbasses are just told, oh, we're finally gonna tax the rich, and oh, things are gonna be better for you now, you know, so it's just fucking stupid. That's what this is. And yeah, all of this is just going to go to fraud. It's just all going to be fraud, corruption, horse shit. I can guarantee you some of these people are just going to give themselves huge fucking pay raises and bonuses and shit like that. Like, I'm pretty sure California isn't the state running in... Maybe I'm wrong, but a lot of these states are running in a deficit. So chances are a lot of this money isn't even going to anything. It's just paying for fucking debt or some shit. So, yeah, I think it's just a fucking joke. But yeah, that's California for you. I genuinely don't understand why anybody fucking lives in California at this point. Like, move to Florida. I can understand not wanting to move to Texas. It is kind of a lot of places, at least in Texas, are like kind of fucking stupid. They have really bad urban sprawl. The weather isn't that great. Like, they've got hurricanes. It's extremely windy. Or tornadoes. It's more tornadoes. It's just windy in general. The amount of suburbs are kind of crazy, and apparently everybody's an asshole. But, like, there's so many cheaper, like, red states to live in where you aren't taxed to oblivion. Rent is reasonable. And you can find a job and make a decent living. Like, why are you living in California where all of your money is going to go to rent? You have no fucking money for anything else. And if you actually start to earn more money, well, the government just gobbles it up and you have to pay that through tax. So, like, you're just stuck. You will forever be fucking poor living in California unless you're some, like, Poindexter super genius working on some new fucking AI software, or you hit it big on YouTube or something. Like, outside of that, if you live in California, all your money is going to go to rent and you're broke. Or once you actually start making a bit more money, you're just, it's all gone anyway through taxes. So, like, you're just poor, poor, poor. You'll always stay poor. Like, why live in California?
Trump.
And it's a shithole. Like the amount of homeless people is just insane. There's shit all over the fucking place. Drug addicts. And it's kind of like fucking Canada, where if you get attacked by like a couple crack addicts who try to mug you, and you take your gun out and shoot them, the police will lock you up. Like, it's fucking insane. Like, why the fuck live there? Yeah, it's a criminal's fucking dream. They just let criminals do whatever the fuck they want.
To navigate that whole post-COVID economic environment, which could present worse consequences for European defense spending, despite calls for that 5% GDP spending on defense by the Trump administration. 11% decline in overall defense spending compounds problems over time. Naval assets age. With fewer euros going to defense overall, European navies aren't going to struggle to stay modern. They're struggling to exist at all. Now, there is some good news here with the Russian invasion of Ukraine and calls for that 5% GDP match in defense spending. European militaries could see some much needed funding. But, you know, the other issue is that the Navy tends to be a smarter service. You're dealing with electrical systems, you're dealing with engines, you're dealing with ship maintenance. Sailors aren't just infantrymen you can pump out every 8 weeks. Ships cost money, infrastructure costs money, training sailors costs money. By 2030, Italian, German, and British navies hope to field this new kind of cruiser-class ship. But there's a fear that these platforms are too big, too expensive, and have too many eggs stored in one basket. And to complicate matters, Europeans appear wholly reliant on American resources for anti-submarine warfare. At the moment, Europeans rely on American seabed sensor networks for detecting Russian submarines in their waters. So what does this mean? It means European navies are smaller and leaner than their Cold War selves, but they also suffer from Cadillac syndrome, right? Newer platforms being brought into European navies are like Cadillacs. They do everything, but there's too few of them, so they might end up doing nothing. It is a huge problem in an era of inexpensive and highly effective maritime unmanned surface vehicle drones, which could be loaded up with ordnance and sink a multi-billion-dollar naval assets. So these large surface combatants that Europe wants to build might not be as useful as you think. In an era where the battlefield has become increasingly transparent due to drone surveillance, massing forces and moving expensive assets such as warships is no longer easy to accomplish without warning your adversaries. These bigger and more expensive ships with their long-range strike capability.
Dodo, donate $2. Let me see. Newly resurfaced tweets from Cole Allen reveal he hated Hassan Piker, the far left, and pro-Palestine protesters. Really? Spent a lot of time in countries where graft and grifting are the norm, and I assure you it is worth a truly immense cost to prevent that from taking hold in our society. Palestine protesters are functionally speaking Republicans. Find far-right, far-left dipshits who say, I just want the war to stop offensive. Do you think Ukrainians don't want my position on Gaza is nuanced based on what's happening? Jesus. Weird. He also criticized Arab voters in Dearborn, Michigan who didn't vote for Kamala Harris over the genocide in Gaza. I wonder what his political leaning was then and why he did this. With like it's always a shock when you hear like what these people think. They're always weird, unhinged people. That's kind of funny. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. My name is Bitcher Donate Teller. Sam asked the best question, which is how much of Trump's blatant corruption and family enrichment is required for one to reconsider voting based on policy preference. Anyone arguing Biden was simply corrupt is fucking retarded. Trump is unique. Biden was not a particularly corrupt president, if at all. And what's funny is like Trump and the Republicans, yeah, the Biden crime family, and then what do? Like it's nothing but fucking scams and bullshit. So, yep. It's kind of funny that Ben conceded that yeah, Trump is a corrupt, asshole. Thanks for the donation though. My name is Bitchard. Dodo donate tellers based on what he's saying. I suspect the shooter believed Trump was an existential threat to democracy, and that was the motive for his actions. Based on what I'm understanding, that was his main motivation. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. That cat is being really weird. What a weirdo. Dodo donated $3. Dark Snovia. American imperialism has killed more people than the Nazis have. Probably not. But we're still fed anti-communist propaganda that communists killed hundreds of millions of people. I think the very generous estimate is like 100 million. So we know for a fact that there's at least 20 million out of the Soviet Union, and at least another 20 million out of communist China, but it's probably closer to like 40 or 60 million. So like that's where that 100 million, where does he get hundreds of millions from? And hundreds of millions of people when America has killed over 38 million people with sanctions. Oh my God. That's likely a concern. Like, how do you kill people with sanctions? So is he against sanctioning North Korea? I don't believe in any of the anti-communist bullshit by supporters of capitalism when they're fine with genocide being committed to preserve their genocidal ideology. That doesn't make any sense. At this point, if you support capitalism, you support fascism, and you support genocide in the name of profit, because that's what the system is. Yeah, because it's not like communist governments use mass deaths to control the population, right? You cannot have capitalism without genocide. I don't know. I think it's been a while since there's been a genocide in the United States. The war in Lebanon is a genocide. It's not. The war with Iran is also a war of genocide. It's not. This person's just... You know, I'd like to see him just have something unfortunate happen to him. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Dodo donated $2. What we know about the accused WHCA diner shooter. 31-year-old computer scientist, built shooter video games, lead academic track, teacher of the month, NASA connection. Donated $25 to Kamala Harris. What authorities say happened? Rushed to Secret Service checkpoint. Open fired on an agent. How a resume... How a resume filled with science, engineering, game design spiraled into violent. Yeah, I don't know. We'll probably find out. Fake AI, fake news being spread is funny. Dude. People fall for this. Manifesto for alleged White House shooter, mock Secret Service, incompetent. This has to be. Yeah, that seems fake. No, I don't like Louis C.K. Archived tweets. He predicted Kamala wins all swing states, compared Trump's win to Nazis getting elected. Moved to blue sky. Scary part, he retweeted every mainstream Democrat on this platform. Yeah. So what probably happened was there's probably a weird game that's being played with China primarily, but Russia probably also does this. They probably have social media algorithms set up where they target mentally unstable individuals and radicalize them to commit acts like this. it wouldn't surprise me if some AI bot found out that he was like super left wing, pro Democrat, and then they found out some weak spots of his where, you know, he thought Trump was like this huge threat to democracy and he's extremely politically motivated. And then he just got fed a bunch of propaganda that just radicalized him and made him go out and try to kill Trump. At least he hates Jill Stein. So, yeah, that's probably what happened to him. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
It just goes to show how evil I is.
Well, it's not so much the AI, it's the people that are using the AI. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
Abilities might be ill prepared for what comes next. And you add this to the volatility of American support, European navies are going to be hard pressed to counter future Russian incursions or aggression in European territorial waters. So while the future of European navies is in doubt, it isn't likely to be ignored for long. You know, there's that Russian aggression in the Baltic, Black, and North Seas. So the European Union, especially members of NATO, they're highly reliant on open seas for trade and travel, which means Europe's coastline and its 329 key seaports are in jeopardy. Without a viable maritime security strategy and naval forces to back it up, Europe's future political and economic future looks kind of bleak, especially when it comes to countering China and Russia. All right, so I told you to stay to the end of solutions. What are they? I think there's three to get the ball rolling, and I'll kind of let the Europeans do the rest. I know, your typical American like doing the whole, here's what you can do, Europe, but maybe you should freaking listen this time. First, Europe could try a moonshot where missiles are containerized and placed on existing cargo ships along with containerized suites of sensors. I don't see this happening because it requires a lot of cooperation, collaboration, money, and political will. But something like that could see you spin up these maritime transport ships that have some teeth fairly quickly. Second, the United States and Europe can use an economic deal to help both sides kind of get what they need.
Ricky Jarvis isn't funny.
Europe has 14 shipyards. We need to build ships. We could have the Europeans build us ships. And this money could be used to help bolster European defense spending, among other things. The U.S. gets its ships. Europe becomes...
Bend over to donate $2. I think that parrot might be a little confused. Thanks for the donation, Ben. Podony Teller was upset about my rabbit passing, but this made me laugh out loud when I came across it.
Me morally inconsistent because I didn't eat chicken. It's simply
Oh my god, this is the biggest joke ever.
Jesus
Holy
Christ.
fuck.
Wow.
Alright, so
Okay, thanks for the donation. I don't give two fucks about Mike Israel. The guy is not like. What do you think I care? Why are you asking me that?
Like increasingly more self-reliant. Now, I don't really see this either. American shipbuilders would find this very distasteful, to say the least. But there's no doubt it would help kickstart defense spending, at least in Europe. Third option here is one that has been championed on our side of the pond, and that is Europe takes the reins and starts building its own damn defense apparatus that secures it regionally, internationally. The Europeans should kind of keep building on this momentum that they have. When Russia invaded Ukraine, they started to realize, crap, we need a bigger military. You know, they can maintain their independence from the U.S. and regional global powers, but they need a navy to do it. Either way you slice it, it's messy. It requires some give and take, and I think it's kind of what's at stake here is Europe's maritime.
Oh dear, sorry for your loss. Po rabbits are the best.
Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Sovereignty. They have to make some hard decisions, as does the United States. And while drones might be the way of the future, they have their limitations. You can't protect merchant shipping with a drone. And, you know, there's this joke, and I've even said it, that Iran's about to find out why America doesn't have free healthcare. And while that is kind of true, the reason Europe has been able to have things like free healthcare, 6-week vacations, generous social and college programs is that Europe traded its maritime power for the assumption that someone else, the United States, would handle the oceans. And that worked for about 30 friggin' years. But it's not going to work any longer. Now with China building building fleets instead of factories. And that's the problem. You got Chinese shipyards launching warships like they're freaking printing them. And global trade is moving through an increasingly congested waters. And if you can't look after your own maritime interests anymore, like the Strait of Hormuz, you might as well not even call yourself a sovereign nation. Because at the end of the day, yeah, drones can sink ships, missiles can threaten bases, but only navies can control the sea. Read my white paper on this topic at riotbeth.substack.com. Thank you guys so much for watching.
In a world where fashion meets firepower, where style becomes strategy, it's time.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Shit, shit, shit. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Shit, fuck, shit, fuck, shit.
This 8-unit apartment building on Weston Road in Toronto recently got a water bill of more than $31,000. Manjeet Duga says her family has owned the building for the past 30 years and never had a bill like that before.
I think something is seriously wrong. Something is wrong at their end because this is not the bill.
When she got her statement, she hired a plumber to look for leaks and says none could be found. She contacted the water department to say it must be a mistake.
Is something wrong with their meter or the way they are doing their estimating or their reading?
When CTV News reached out to the city, a spokesperson said the building consists of commercial properties along with 2 residential units. The water meter was working properly, but the device that sends readings to the city failed. The account was billed based on estimates for nearly 3 years. Once a manual reading confirmed the meter's accuracy, a one-time catch-up bill was issued. The city is about to start replacing 400
What in the like? Oh my god, dude. It's just... There you go. That's the government for you. Oh yeah, we didn't tell you. We underbilled you for like fucking 3 decades. Can you pay us $1 billion now? Like
170,000 water meter transmission units
Oh my
over the
God.
next 3 years. The failure of the devices has led to other bills being estimated and inaccurate. Duga says she can't afford to pay such a large bill.
I'm upset.
that is so fucking insane. An estimate. Oh, we're just guessing. It's about that much. Like, fuck you.
I'm going crazy. I can't sleep.
Yeah, I ain't paying that shit. Fuck you.
No one is listening, you know.
After CTV News contacted the city, Duga says an inspector came to her building to check the meter, and she says it was found to be faulty and leaking. The water meter and the meter transmission unit were both replaced. The city adjusted Duga's bill down from almost $32,000 to $12,400, which is not a perfect outcome, but it was still a relief.
Right. After fucking City News was gonna do a story. Oh. We don't want to look bad. We don't want to get exposed for committing fraud. Let's just go out and see if something's... Oh, yeah, it is wrong. Oh, it's broken. Okay, we'll fix that. Fuck you.
For her.
Thank you, CTV News.
Dude, like, can you fucking believe that? What a fucking asshole.
Call an ambulance, please.
Okay, hold on. Where does it hurt?
My stomach. ちゃんと痛いけど痛い。
救急車を呼んでもらったからといって安心はできません。しっかりと自分の状態を相手に伝えましょう。
I have a bad case of diarrhea.
私はひどい下痢です。
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea.
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea.
At Ben_Davison049 no, he doesn't like Louis C.K. Louis C.K. is a predator who abused women. Remember the allegations.
Didn't he just want to jerk off with girls watching? Like, that's all that happened. And then there's a bunch of stupid lying cunts who just said he cornered them when that never happened. It's fucking stupid. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
I have a bad case of diarrhea.
When a bank loses your money, they don't help. When the bank accidentally gives you money, it's a federal case. So yeah, I've been there before.
肩に手を乗せ I have クロスして a bad case お腹をさすって of diarrhea ジェスチャーゲームの要領です。感情を込めてやってみましょう。I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The rule came into effect after post-pandemic tip culture spiked.
people were sick of being asked for tips and more tips, and so that's why the new regulation took place.
There's already like the taxes, but then there's service fees, delivery fees, and then tip.
When it's in a restaurant, I'm like, okay, well, it's normal. But yeah, for takeout, no.
As of February, Quebec's Consumer Protection Office has received 531 complaints about merchants charging tips on the total after taxes. That's against the rules, says Charles Tanguay.
Forbids merchant to enhance one form or one percentage instead of the other. They should be presented neutrally, so don't feel obliged to give a better tip.
He says 200 notifications were sent out to non-compliant businesses. Some blamed their electronic payment providers who were slow to update their systems.
Regulation was announced long before it took force, but it's what we've been told also, that it takes time to adapt.
If a merchant who has received a warning is the subject of more complaints, a fine can be.
The tipping shit is just kind of retarded. The only benefit I see from like this tipping culture shit is other people can subsidize your fucking meal. So if the restaurant is able to sell a meal for like $10 because like deranged fucking retards will give like, you know, $5 fucking tip each time they go out to eat, and then you can just not give a tip and then get the food for $10 rather than just charging an extra $2-3. Like, that's the only benefit I see from it. But like, other than that, it's just fucking annoying. I don't know why people should be given a bunch of extra money for no reason for doing their fucking job. It's just retarded. Like, unless there's weird, unique circumstances where, you know, they have to go above and beyond just for you, like, just tipping makes no fucking sense. It's stupid. Oh, man. Shit. Fuck. Crap. Poop. My lower back is not doing good. I think it might be from doing too many heavy barbell shrugs. I might take a little break and just do higher reps. But yeah, I can't sit in this chair for... I don't think I can sit in this chair for much longer. So... yeah, I'm gonna take some, well, Gummy, relax, okay? I'm gonna go to bed with you soon. I'm gonna take some NSAIDs. Go to bed. No, don't do that. Oh my god, don't you dare. No. You be a good kitty. Don't whack things. Yeah, I owe 3 setups. I'll do them later. So, yeah, my back hurts too much to just keep streaming. But I'm gonna try to take it easier on my lower back, and then hopefully that gets better. Thanks for the donation, though, everyone. Or the donations. I'll do the sit-ups next time. My back just hurts too much. I'll see you all tomorrow. I will be streaming tomorrow. So I'll see you all then. And sweet dreams. Thanks again.